Hey, did you guys see the video yet? I saw it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to play it right here for you. I'm just going to tell you, I feel personally, I don't know squat. Nobody knows squat. But I'm going to tell you, I feel personally that they just put this video out because of all the leaks, especially CES, when they had stuff on the showroom floor that were showing off chargers and screens and different third-party accessories for the Switch 2. I think Nintendo had to put something out, and what a perfect way to just put a little teaser trailer, kind of like one of those movie teaser trailers where you just really get no information, but enough just to tease you a little bit. And that's how I'm looking at this thing. It's just a teaser trailer. You know, I know a lot of people saying it was a disappointment. It was boring. You know what? It was just a teaser trailer to get us by till, April 2nd, when they are going to announce it in their Nintendo Direct. So without further ado, I am just going to press play and talk through a little bit as I watch the video. So this is something I normally don't do, but there it is. There is the Switch. It's the old Switch. The Joy-Cons, I never really enjoyed these Joy-Cons. They didn't feel good, and 99% of the time, I always played with a Pro Controller. Even if I traveled somewhere, I would take the Pro Controller with me. Now, it's got me interested that there is a USB-C on the top and USB-C on the bottom. Is it going to be linkable like the old Nintendo Game Boys were? Now, that would be pretty cool for some LAN parties. Now, the Joy-Cons, man, I hope they fit good in your hand because I did not like the first one. And I'm a little worried about these magnetic connectors. And I'm not worried about the connectors themselves. I think it's a great idea. But when you look at the console itself and you see where it's going into, I just worry a little bit that could break or damage. And right there's a little view of it. And there you have it. The Nintendo Switch 2. And that's the first time that they've ever called anything 2 in the whole lifespan of Nintendo. And here we go. And it's going to show us now, and it's showing us Mario Kart. And it is being played on the handheld, and it just doesn't look that great. It doesn't look like it's advanced or like it's a jump. And that does look sharp. That looks sharp on the TV. Are they hitting around that the TV is going to be higher resolution than the handheld? I don't know. They would hint around stuff like that. Now, it's going to play all the Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. My guess is it's not going to play like the Labo games or some of those games, but we have a Nintendo Direct on April 2nd. That is going to be interesting. How'd you like that video? I really got a kick out of it. I am so excited for the Switch 2 to come. I got a few questions myself. What are we using for storage in this thing? Are we using micro SD again? Was that little indentation on the back of it underneath the kickstand? Was that where we're putting it? What speeds are we going to use? And what size can we use in that? These games are getting huge that we're downloading. Indiana Jones this last month, that flipping thing was 139 gigabytes on day one. That's what I had it downloaded as. I want enough room in my SD card or whatever storage that I'm, have to put in this Switch 2 that I don't have to have 4 or 5 little devices, hanging around with my collection. I want to be able to slap them in, slap one in and be good for the life cycle of it, which is last time was 7 going on 8 years. So that's what I'm thinking. What about the storage? Another one was a Joy-Con connection in the back. In the back, when the magnetics slide into place, when they snap into place, it's more like a snap. There's 2 little connectors in the inside of each of those slots where the Joy-Cons go. What's that for? Why do we need that connection now? I'm kind of curious if we're getting some type, some form of haptic feedbacks where we need that fast connection to talk to whatever's in the inside of that Switch 2. I'm guessing we're going to have some type of haptic feedbacks that's going to give us, some rumbling or something a little bit, something that's going to give us a different tactile feel to it. DualSense was awesome. Those were great controllers for the PS5. Are we getting something like that in these Joy-Cons now or in the console itself? On the back of the Joy-Cons was the two optical lights that they're hinting around that these are going to be used as like a mouse device. This is flipping awesome. Are we going to have ports from the PC come to the Switch 2? Will we be able to control our games sliding that across like it was a trackball? Those are things that got me excited. Things that didn't get me excited was the resolution on the handheld didn't look as high as it was when it was on the TV. Was that a bad render? Why can't we have this thing at 4K, being in handheld mode? We need a 4K display in our handheld. And when it goes to the dock, we need the 4K in the TV as well. Enough with the 720p crap. Let's move on. The thing that really has me worried that has nothing to do about hardware is what's the availability at launch? Are we going to be reliving 2020 again? I don't want to do that again. That sucked royally. I'm telling you, when I couldn't get a PS5, I couldn't get an Xbox Series X, I would go to Walmart and they'd have a sign where the Xboxes go and say, you have to go online to purchase an Xbox Series X. That's the only way you can do it. That really pissed me off. I'm telling you, you should be able to go to a bricks and mortar store and buy your console and buy your games right there. You shouldn't have to wait. You shouldn't have to deal with a scalper. They should be available. We shouldn't create shortages, to create hype. Let's get the things out there. Let's get these systems in the hands of the gamers out there. I'm going to quote in closing here really quick. Peter Main told Tom Kalinske back in the Sega days, which is really odd that I'm bringing that up because it was a Sega Nintendo war back then, but I want to bring it up now that he told Tom the name of the game is the game. You tell him the name of the game is the game. And we got to remember that. I think the reason that Switch elevated above everybody else and everybody's going to have their opinions on it is because the games were there. Even though they were dog slow at times, even though that the graphics were a little less than the other ones, the games were there and they were fun. It was a fun machine to collect for. And I got high hopes that this thing with its backwards compatibility is going to upscale some of these games, kind of like what the Xbox Series X is doing for, the older 360 and the older Xbox One games. I got a feeling it's going to do this for the Switch 2, and we're going to get some great games out there. Let's have fun. Just like the games need to be fun, we need to be fun to one another. It's not about what console you're playing. It's about playing the game. And remember, the name of the game is the game.